In the distant future, impoverished individuals reside in facilities where they are required to pedal stationary bikes to earn merits, a currency they must use to pay for nearly every aspect of their daily lives. Merits are needed not only for food, but also for essentials like toothpaste. Their living spaces are small, enclosed rooms covered with screens that bombard them with shows and games, all of which come at a cost. The only escape from this dreary existence is to amass an enormous amount of merits to purchase a golden ticket, granting a chance to appear on the talent show Hot Shot, where winning might lead to a better life. One of the facility's residents, Bing Madsen, has accumulated over 15 million merits. Unlike many, Bing doesn't waste his merits on frivolous items, keeping his avatar simple and skipping the intrusive ads whenever they appear. Bing's neighbor on the bike, Dustin, is his polar opposite, loud, crude, and obnoxious. Dustin revels in tasteless comedy shows, watches explicit content openly, mistreats the cleaners, and mocks those struggling with the physical demands of the bike. Another of Bing's co-workers, Swift, a young woman who plays the violin while she bikes, harbors a crush on Bing. One lunchtime, Swift helps Bing retrieve an apple stuck in the vending machine and attempts to strike up a conversation, but Bing, though polite, is brief and returns to his table. The next morning, Bing notices a new co-worker in the elevator, a beautiful girl named Abi Khan. He also observes that one of the bikers has been replaced by a cleaner, a position taken by those who can no longer endure the biking, much to Dustin's amusement. Later, Bing overhears Abi singing beautifully in the bathroom and is instantly captivated. Though he tries to talk to her, his awkwardness and yet another ad on the screen cut their conversation short. Abi takes over the recently vacated bike, and Bing, smitten, can't help but glance at her, which doesn't go unnoticed by Swift. During lunch, Abi makes an origami penguin out of an apple bag, but when she places it on her bike as a decoration, a cleaner promptly confiscates it. The next day, Bing helps Abi retrieve a stuck apple and finally manages to have a real conversation with her. Abi, who has just turned 21, was hoping to be assigned to the same facility as her sister, but ended up here instead. Bing uses a joke Swift once told him and explains how the cheaper, unhealthy food leads to a vicious cycle of needing more energy to burn it off. He then tells Abi that she has a beautiful voice and suggests she audition for Hot Shot, offering to gift her the merits needed for the entry fee. Though Abi is hesitant, Bing's insistence wins her over, and she agrees, provided he accompanies her. That evening, Bing discovers that the ticket actually costs 15 million merits, not 12, leaving him with only 9,000 if he proceeds. Undeterred, Bing buys the ticket, and Abi responds by sending a virtual kiss from her avatar. The following day, Bing and Abi take the elevator to the Hot Shot studio. Abi gives Bing another origami penguin, which he carefully hides in his waistband. Bing, noticing her nervousness, holds her hand to comfort her. At the studio, Abi is quickly chosen to audition due to her looks, bypassing others who have been waiting for days. Abi's screen test is brief, and she is then handed a compulsory drink called Cupliance, designed to calm contestants' nerves. Feeling disoriented, Abi takes the stage in front of 3 judges, Hope, Charity, and Wraith. While Hope and Charity are impressed by her voice, Wraith remains indifferent and pressures her to consider a career in adult films instead of singing, arguing that it's her best chance to escape the biking life. Overwhelmed by the audience's chants and still under the influence of the drink, Abi reluctantly agrees, though her tearful acceptance reveals her deep unhappiness. In the days that follow, Bing is consumed by guilt and despair over what happened to Abi. He keeps the origami penguin and her empty Cupliance carton hidden under his mattress as reminders of his failure. Bing's mood deteriorates further as he is forced to listen to Abi's interviews on the adult channel Dustin Watches, where she sounds lifeless and broken. Having spent most of his merits, Bing now has to eat unhealthy food again, deepening his misery. One evening, Bing is interrupted by an ad for Abi's first adult film. With too few merits to skip it, he tries to avoid watching by covering his eyes, but the system's piercing alarm forces him to give in. The image of Abi is too much for Bing, and in a fit of rage, he smashes one of the screens, noticing a glass shard among the debris. Bing tests the shard by cutting his tattoo and hatches a plan. From that moment, Bing becomes singularly focused on saving merits. He adopts a frugal lifestyle, eating only leftovers and stuck apples, using minimal toothpaste, and practicing a dance routine in his tiny room instead of playing video games. Eventually, he amasses another 15 million merits and buys a new ticket for Hot Shot. On the day of the show, Bing smuggles the glass shard past security and arrives at the studio early. When it's his turn, Bing starts to dance but soon brandishes the shard, threatening to harm himself if anyone approaches. The judges, initially unfazed, eventually encourage him to speak. Bing delivers a passionate tirade against the system, exposing the dehumanizing conditions and the exploitation of people's desperation. To his shock, the audience and judges respond with applause, viewing his outburst as a powerful performance. Hope offers Bing his own channel to continue delivering his message, and the audience, once again chanting, pressures him into accepting. Bing reluctantly agrees, realizing that even his rebellion has been commodified. Now Bing lives in a luxurious apartment, far removed from his previous life. His channel, where he rants with the glass shard at his neck, becomes a popular show. But once the camera stops rolling, Bing returns to his normal demeanor, inviting viewers to tune in next week. Despite his material comforts, Bing's new life is just another version of the same system he tried to escape, with only a fabricated sense of freedom and control.
If you enjoy it, click and subscribe and watch the next video.